Hello, people of YouTube! Okay, that was a weird voice, but I am back. And a bit more happy. Because, if you could see this picture here, I found something that's relevant to my interests. Don't judge me. Alright? And no, this is not Twimey, even though I should say this now, my favorite pony is Twilight. It's not Twilight. As far as I know. Yeah, I went there. As far as I know, it's not any Twilight-ish stuff. Don't judge me. I'm busy. Sometimes I don't even know. Anyways, I'm gonna quit stalling here and get started. Two figures lay sprawled on the equestrian grass, talking and laughing merrily. One was a human, a relatively young man with the unlikely name of Lero, short for Bellerophon, for his parents had been odd folk, who had ended up here through no mechanism he or anyone else had yet been able to discern, and yet was unable to return home. He was slightly stocky, with fairly wide shoulders and a barrel chest, and had shoulders length, reddish blonde hair, and a neatly trimmed red mustache and goatee. Oh god. I don't know. The other figure was much smaller. The sky blue coat and rainbow striped mane and tail of the Pegasus, aptly named Rainbow Dash, stood out against the deep green of the grass. She flopped down half atop the human when they stopped to rest, and now lay with her head and one foreleg across his chest, and one wing spread across his torso. The human idly stroked her mane with one hand while the two cheerfully revisited the puffball game they just finished in the village green. Rainbow had been Lero's closest friend since he wound up in Equestria. Though initially suspicious, she had been quicker to accept the tall biped than her friends had been, and she almost immediately appointed herself as the alien's guide to Ponyville. Huh. I was about to say something, but I'm not gonna say it. Sorry about that. I should turn that off. My bad. Yeah, my bad. I'm so sorry about that. I was busy doing something else between a break, and you know, this is still like Friday night for me. It's nearly midnight, but whatever is good. I'm doing this because I want to. I am not sleepy at all, I should say. I'm not. Sorry, I have to type something fast. I'll get back to it in a minute. Don't blame me, people. I just, tough life-ish. Alright. The two had gone along like a house on fire from almost the very beginning. She led him around town, introducing him to every pony they came across, and they filled the time between introductions swapping stories of Earth and Equestria. The human had adapted to life in Ponyville very much more quickly than he had expected, once the Pegasus took him under her metaphorical wing. She started doing that literally after a few weeks like she was doing now, and had made several good friends here, Rainbow first among them. The two had spent a great deal of their free time together. Oh, Rainbow had plenty of days where she went off to hang out with Pinkie Pie or Applejack, and Leo would generally use that time to talk comparative history with Twilight Sparkle or chat with Fluttershy or Lyra. No surprise there. Or even just go off on his own for a while, but those were generally exceptions. They taught one another games from their respective home cultures. Rainbow proved how surprisingly adept at some of Leo's word and board games when she learned the rules. Sorry. And the human had actually put on a fair bit of extra muscle from the often punishingly physical sports the Pegasus preferred. Rainbow was a consummate athlete. Consummate athlete, sleekly muscular with a hearty trace of fat. I'm guessing not even a pinch of fat, honestly. And even with his significantly greater size and recent muscle development, he was still the stronger of the two by a substantial margin, though the human's reach a more agile bipedal stance let him an advantage in certain sports. mostly the ones that had disallowed flight. The Pegasus wings were largely negated to his physical advantages. Clear had an endurance advantage against most ponies, too. The Rainbow, Applejack, or Big Macintosh could run him into the ground almost every time. The human and the Pegasus had proven to be the absolute terror when they were on the same team, though regardless of what game they were playing. Rainbow still gloated occasionally over an absolutely crushing defeat by they dealt to Twilight and Spike at a cooperative board game that Twilight was well known for being very good at. Oh god. Twilight's my favorite pony, but friggin' this is awesome. Ish. You know. Anyways. God, sorry. I started dealing with this friggin' runny nose. It's annoying. I'm sorry. There had been an odd, awkward moment, of course, like discussions on the human's nudity taboo, which the Pegasus still didn't really understand. She was far from alone in that regard. She had so many questions asked about it. The ponies all thought it was really strange. He also still remembered how soft Dash's feathers had felt the time he had absently run his hand along her wing. She twitched slightly, told him that it was something generally not done in public. He had taken the hint and refrained from stroking the wing thereafter, though it was sometimes hard to remember when she had draped them across him, like she did now. It had taken some time to get used to how tactile the ponies of Crusher tend to be. They tended to like to nuzzle, rub shoulders, embrace, and sit snuggled together in a way that initially discomforted the slightly touch-shy human, but he adapted. Some of them seemed more prone to such contact than others. Dash, Twilight, Pinky, Lyra, and several of the younger fillies and colts had been doing it from the start, presumably because they hadn't been as intimidated by the human size as some of the others. Most of the others in town had followed suit after a week or so, deciding it'd be safe around after all. Oh god, that sounds so familiar to me, but I don't remember where I was reading that. Anyways, my bad from getting off track. We are back on this. Rainbow was far in a way the most affectionate of the bunch, though constantly shading where she could lean up against him or lying half atop him like she was doing now. She even occasionally got him to carry around her with her forelegs looped over his shoulders and her rear hooves hooked on into his belt. Leo had found this image of the horse leg being ridden on a human's back to be humorously ironic, and Rainbow Dash knew enough about his home world to appreciate the joke too. She hadn't known quite enough to appreciate the in Soviet Russia joke, unfortunately. Oh god. In Soviet Russia, horse ride you! God, that joke. I get it. Ugh, I should cut that out. But I'm not going to. No one in Ponyville had ever commented on how often she touched him, though, so either was a normal way for this happy and equine to treat a close friend, or Sky Blue Pegasus was considered so fearsome that nobody wanted to risk drawing her out by commenting on the habit. A possibility that wasn't too far-fetched, actually. She had a bit of a temper, which was almost freakishly strong. Yeah, check, and check. I am not kidding. Oh, God. I can just imagine that happening to me somehow. Anyways. Although, by the way, this is like several chapters. Don't expect me to finish this. It's probably going to be a 20-part thing until they figure out how to get longer episodes out there. Can't be longer than 15 minutes. I hate YouTube, but you know, it's the law of YouTube. All that was in the past, though, and he dwelled less on the past since winding up in Equestria. The present, excuse me, the present was typically quite nice, so that where his mind tended to stay. Like now, for example. His muscles burned pleasantly with the light fatigue earned from strenuous, though enjoyable, activity, a sensation that would have been alien to the previously quite sedentary human. A light sheen of sweat was quickly evaporating in the dry, temperate air the weather patrol maintained over Ponyville, and his nose picked up slightly at the spicy scent that suggested Rainbow had been sweating too. He'd been surprised to learn that different pony subtypes actually had different scents where they exerted themselves. Pegasi had the spicy smell he was picking up now. Earth ponies had an odd, sweet scent, and unicorns didn't seem to smell at all. Offensive! He had been quite self-conscious about it at first. His body odor had never been particularly strong, but he thought he skinked a high heaven compared to his new acquaintances, and intended to go off on his own to cool down when he got sweaty. It wasn't until Applejack commented that his smell was similar to a brand of cologne. Oh god, oh god. The smell was similar to a brand of, what is it? I forgot how to spell it. Freaking pronounce it. Col something. Uh, Cologne, her brother used when he got all fancy, as the farm family had put it. That he realized he actually smelled as pleasant to them as they did to him. Big Mac himself had later made a slightly envious observation to that effect too. Regardless, he was enjoying the feeling of lying on the grass, a cool breeze blowing by, and a good friend lying stretched out next to him. My god, why can't that happen to me in Twilight? I want it so bad. Yeah, I'm sounding like a Zakaya. But, you know, he's a good guy. Oh, and if you're wondering who he is, I'm probably going to post a link to his channel. He is a very good person to listen to while he reads fanfics. He's done so many that I'm actually planning to read myself. And, you know, there's something we can share in common. Our favorite pony is Twilight and Sparkle here. Yeah. I mean, literally, this face. How can you not like that face? I just, I don't think, I don't think, I just, I don't know. Just, let's continue. Sorry, hold on. I'm busy. You know what? It's actually a good time to stop it here. I'll start again soon. Sorry, guys.